As if Berserk wasn't enough of a headache, now we've got Frenzy. So I guess we'll never be friends. It is Frenzy, the sequel to Berserk, the arcade classic from Stern Electronics, now available for your Atari 7800 Pro system. Assuming you missed out on this one when Atari Age sold this thing ages ago, but regardless, it's another new/old 7800 homebrew release from modern Atari, and I approve regardless. Especially since Frenzy only had a couple home ports back in the day, one for ColecoVision and another for ZX Spectrum. And no one even considered a Vectrex port. I am quite disappointed. In this port of Frenzy, if you were to go by the box art, the instruction manual, the promotional material and whatnot, you're apparently controlling a new character. Even though it looks like the same old stick figure from Berserk, it plays like the same old stick figure from Berserk, and even dies like the same old stick figure from Berserk. Why are we making a big stink about this? We're not, I'm just pointing out the obvious. So anyway, you move your little Bonum around these labyrinths of death, killing all the robots in the room for bonus points, outrunning Evil Otto whenever it shows up, and trying not to get yourself killed in the process. Frenzy actually has some new robot types for you to contend with, though they all turn out to operate in the same way. There are two types of walls here. Dotted walls that you can actually chip away with your blaster, thus opening a new path to escape, and solid walls that will actually ricochet shots, which can be a useful tool in picking off targets that would normally be out of reach. Unlike Berserk, you could actually touch the walls without fear of death, which is nice. As per usual, Evil Otto will pursue you if you linger on the screen for too long, but this time you could actually take the bastard out, temporarily at least, with a couple well-timed shots, before he respawns and pursues you even faster. Every fourth room will feature one of 4 new gimmicks that will inhabit the center of the room. Big Otto, who sits there observing you until you kill Evil Otto, at which point 4 more Evil Ottos will spawn. A power plant that can be destroyed to temporarily pause robot spawns, a central computer that controls robot movements, and the robot factory which exists. To say that Frenzy is just Berserk with some extra bits is perhaps underselling things a bit, because those extra bits makes Frenzy a far tougher game than Berserk. In Berserk, you only have to worry about robots, lasers, not running into walls, and hoping the RNG doesn't give you a crowded maze. Now toss in different robot types, walls that deflect lasers, and fourth screen gadgets, and you've got Berserk in hard mode, or as the cool kids used to call it, Frenzy. Beyond just being more of a nutcracker this time around, Frenzy plays just like Berserk. You run with the stick, you shoot in 8 directions, control pretty much functions in the same way as the previous game. All the extra stuff makes things a bit tougher than the first go around, but that just means more obstacles to overcome. And with no selectable skill settings that usually common with these 700 games, Frenzy can be a tough nut to crack, but like Berserk, it's one of those games where every small step further feels like a bigger deal. And much like Berserk on 7800, Frenzy also has 2-player modes of alternating, competitive, or cooperative play. Frenzy more or less retains the same visual quality as Berserk on 7800, which is no surprise since it's just Berserk with some new assets, and the new assets look fine for the most part. The game also shares some of the same sound effects as Berserk, but also sports fewer voice clips, which is odd but not unusual since the arcade original Frenzy also had fewer voice bites than its predecessor. In the case of this home conversion, however, that just means fewer instances of awkward pausing of the game whenever a voice clip is playing, so maybe there is something to this no voice thing. Overall, Frenzy on Atari 7800 is, well, it's Berserk with extra bits that makes the game tougher than before. And if you like Berserk, then Frenzy will be right up your alley. And if you don't like Berserk, this might not change your mind. And that's all there really is to it.